Hey Taurus, what's going on? I was getting a little bit of a similar energy in the pre-shuffle to a reading that I did earlier for Sagittarius. So if you have any Sagittarius placements or you're dealing with somebody with Sag placements, you may find that that resonates. If not, you can just disregard that, okay? We are starting off with the Queen of Cups. Some of you guys, you can be working on something that you are going to be releasing with the Queen of Cups and the Empress. The way that I'm seeing this be is that this is feeling like you are channeling your energy into something. Now, Queen of Cups energy is going to be something very soulful and very creative. So this will be something that comes from your heart that you are creating, and it feels like it's getting condensed down into this. But then the way that the Empress is landing feels like something that's going to be dispersed. So you can be releasing something that you've created. This is even giving like a worldwide energy to this. I also like to see this energy as one that can be like a beacon. We're seeing the Fool on the bottom of the deck. So this can be something new that you're trying, or it can be like a bit of a different vibe for you. Or just maybe something unique. What this can mean too is that maybe you're looking naturally at what it is that you produce as well, because the Empress is going to be the stuff that feels like it's just in your nature for that to like come up out of you. And Queen of Cups can be a time when we're really tuning into that and listening to that and feeling into that. And it's not about like, I need to give structure to this immediately. It's more like, let me listen to what this is telling me first, and then I'll do something with it. So having Empress and having Judgment, this is Venus and this is Pluto. There can be some things that you're dissecting about yourself. This can be like, I'm dissecting this stuff about my style. It can be about my artistry. It can be about my creativity. It can be about the things that I like and what I want and what I feel like is most natural and organic for me. And with the Fool here, it feels like you're trying to get as real as possible. So that can be something that feels really important to you. Like, I want this to feel as original and as organic and as authentic as possible, and it's going to take me sitting here and listening. Octavia, sorry guys, it's going to take me sitting here and listening in order to really feel that and to really know that and to really understand that and to really see that. So this can be something that's happening overall right now, where you're like going through this process. And this can be something that connects with a whole bunch of things. Having Queen of Cups, this can be about art, this can be about your relationships, this can be about the way that you want to like interior design your home, anything that has to do with like aesthetics or art. And this, like, I don't want it to just feel surface level. I want it to really tap into the essence of what something is. Because when we have Pluto there, we want to get to the core of something. And to get to the core of Venus is going to be to get to the core of that energy that you naturally emanate. Octavia. So and seeing the Two of Cups come out, I think that you're going to be finding exactly what that is. And there can be directions that are being chosen based off of this stuff that ends up coming up, that ends up being realized and understood. Okay, now I'm also seeing Five of Wands, I'm seeing Ace of Wands, and I'm seeing Seven of Wands. I wonder if this is trying to do too much at once. It can be trying to work on too much at once. It can be trying to work on too much at once, trying to do too much at once, trying to take on too much at once. Your energy being scattered, choosing the wrong thing. Anything, okay, so this stuff that we were talking about before, anything that's not going to be aligned with that, you may have other options or opportunities that are coming up for you, but if they're not aligned with that, it feels like these are things that you need to dismiss, kind of like wipe off the table, because you have some like agenda here, and it's a very, very honest, genuine, unique agenda that you have for what you're doing, the way that you're going about doing things, and feeling more and more connected with yourself because of that. Feeling like you're finding yourself along the way and really like unifying with aspects of your being so you can feel like you're in total coherence with yourself. These other energies over here may be things that pose themselves, but they're really just distractions from this energy. And this can be kind of like a new like law that you're living by within your life, and because of that, it means that you can still be figuring out how this works and what's aligned with this for you, like this new agenda for you. And because of that, you can have other stuff that's coming up where you need to make sure that you're staying on top of discerning whether or not that's true for you. And for those of you, like I'm thinking specifically having to do with relationships, but this is going to be about the integrity of what you're doing. It's about like the integrity and the quality with what you're doing. So this can be about your art, it can be about your relationships. I'm thinking about like art and relationships as far as stuff that can be coming up that there may be stuff that isn't a vibrational match with what you're connecting with now, but you're gonna have to discern that, because opportunity, it means that doors can open. Okay, doors can be opening to relationships, doors can be opening to projects, but if they're not aligned with this agenda that you have, with this like alignment of authenticity and originality for you and what feels like true and honest, that like real connection that you have, it's just an opportunity is an opportunity. Like it doesn't mean that it necessarily is something that's connected with what you're doing just because it's presenting itself to you. And so you are going to have to discern that, because it feels like not everything that's presenting itself at this time is going to be aligned with this imperative of yours. And so you need to make sure that you stay aware to make sure that you're not taking something on that's going to drive you in a different direction and actually oppose what it is that you're trying to do here, that will take you out of this alignment that you're developing. I'm seeing your masculine and your feminine energy balancing out here. Yeah, make sure that you're not overdoing it. Make sure that you're not trying to like overproduce yourself in some way. Having King of Cups connecting with Seven of Swords can be somewhere where you're not totally clear on your intention, and you can be doing something and actually taking things out of that organic flow. So if you're trying to like push too much or like squeeze too much out of something, this is something to keep in mind. And also, let me get a clarifier on this. I think this is just anything that wouldn't feel true for you. If you're doing anything, like producing anything, making any moves, like saying anything, any action that wouldn't be aligned with the clear intention that you have here, which can take constant checking in. It's just something to be mindful of. It feels like so you don't get off track, because this is something where if you're not paying attention, you can kind of be like distracted or led astray, and it seems like you're trying to do something particular here, so you want to make sure that that doesn't happen. It's like, this reminds me of like when you're trying to get a specific vibe for a playlist, how you look at maybe like 2 or 3 songs that you have on it, and you had such a vision when you initially were making the playlist, but then you're like, it's so empty, I need to add more songs, and then those songs like don't really fit, but it's kind of just to like fill something up. Make sure that you're not doing that. Make sure that you're only putting stuff that feels like it's really aligned with this vibe for you, because I'm getting like something so particular with this that you have to make sure that everything is just in that coherent vibration with all this, in that resonant vibration with all of this. And I wonder too if there was this part of you that maybe was trying to do something, and then another part of you that was kind of like stopping you and being like, no, wait, we need to tune in, we need to listen. You could have been getting like maybe ahead of yourself even. See the way that this is? How it feels like this is trying to come through, and the High Priestess is kind of like blocking it from moving further. This is something where you may have been trying to make some move, and your higher self could have been, or your intuition could have been like, okay, I'm gonna like actually stop you right here before you move forward. Maybe something needed to be tuned into more. Maybe you're also observing certain urges that you have too, because King of Cups is when we can feel moved to do something, and High Priestess can be the analysis of like, why is that happening? What's the genesis of this? Where is it coming from? Yeah, I see. This is definitely a big pause. So there can be this part of you that wants to move through, but this is going to be like a wall that gets put up so you can't move any further. There's a reason for this. But this can be something subtle. Like it can be something within the energy that you feel where it's like there's maybe no like actual wall there. There's no like line drawn in the sand, but you'll have a feeling of like, I feel like I should stop here for some reason. So it will be like an energetic barrier that you can feel. Kind of like it's not time yet. There can be a feeling of restlessness that happens with this though, because when we're sitting within the feminine energy, next will come the masculine energy where we're going to want to build off of what it is that we've been feeling. But this feels like trying to arrive there too quickly when you still need to sit within the energy before you move forward. And this part of you, maybe you get like anxious, it's just maybe you get kind of restless, maybe you don't like sitting within the feminine energy, but it feels like it's necessary to do that more so, because it feels like if you start moving forward too quickly, that's when the intention kind of gets lost. And when I say lost, I mean more so like watered down. So it's not really that, it doesn't have that purity to it anymore. So I'm seeing you get paused for that reason, to make sure that this is not getting watered down. And then I'm seeing movement be able to happen. It's like then I'm seeing the pieces click into place, and then I'm seeing the movement. It's like lightning strikes. This is reminding me when you have like that grand idea, when you have the epiphany, when it's like you're inspired. I'm seeing that come online. It's like, this is what I was waiting for. And then I'm seeing you really be able to move. This is feeling really like a creative process to me. So yeah, like you can be an artist of some sort, or like a creator of some sort with this type of energy too. Like it can be officially, it can be unofficially. As I said before, it can be something where it's like maybe you were looking for like a very particular aesthetic for a room that you're trying to design and like you weren't finding it and you're like, maybe I'll just put a filler piece in here, and you just got this feeling like maybe I should stop, and then the next day you end up coming across like the most beautiful piece that you want to use. Or you have a dream where you feel so inspired by that and you're like, that's exactly what I'm looking for, but I like didn't have that idea before, like I wasn't connecting with it before. Now I know exactly what I want to do with this. So it's kind of like that sort of thing that I'm seeing. So yeah, this is making sure that when that feeling isn't there, there's something going on where it feels like intuitively in some way you're being paused. So you're not stepping without that feeling of going in the right direction. Because when you have the green light, you feel you're moving with the green light. Then it starts turning yellow, then it starts turning red, and you have to pause at those like junctures, and then the light is going to turn green again. But you know, sometimes we start feeling anxious, like, is that light actually going to turn green again? Like, am I going to find the rhythm? And sometimes within the rest, we can feel like we lost the rhythm, but really all we're doing is just tuning in to feel it once again. Like, you don't really lose it. Sometimes you just need to be reminded of it. And that feminine energy is going to be about feeling that once again, so you're not out of step. But I get something about your energy where, because you can be learning how to participate in a process like this, there can be this part of your masculine energy that's like, I don't want to like sit around and not be doing anything right now. I need to be moving. And this other aspect of you that's the feminine energy that's like, wait, because we need to get to a place where this energy gets concentrated, where you feel it strongly and clearly, and then you can move forward. Because when we try to move forward before we're ready, there can be that feeling of confusion there, like, am I really going in the right direction? Because you're not listening to those cues anymore, and you're not tuned into the signals anymore. So you kind of like lose the vision a little bit. So this is about learning to align with flow. That's really what this is about ultimately. And to also know, it's to know when to move and to know when not to move, because that's also a really important part of the masculine energy. The masculine energy is not only about initiation, it's knowing when not to initiate as well. It's going to be both of those things. When to move and when to be still. And the feminine energy is going to be when to tune in, and can also be when to no longer be receptive to something anymore. Like how much of something you want to take in and take on, and how much you want to kind of push out then. So there's an active side and a still side to both of these. And they rely on one another. I'm seeing something get cleared up here. It's like a bunch of, you're going down the road and you had to stop because there were a bunch of branches that fell, and you had to get out of the car and you had to clear everything out so then you could keep moving forward. But it feels even like in whatever that was that you were clearing out, you may have found something very important that you're actually going to use. It's kind of like you're on a journey, okay? You're walking on this dirt path and you come across a bunch of branches that had fallen down, and you need to move it, otherwise you're going to be blocked. It's a barrier. You start moving things around, and you find the perfect walking stick that's going to be very supportive for you as you keep going. So it's like this treasure that you find in something that was before felt like a barrier, and you found something very key and important within that that's actually going to aid and assist you as you move further. It's all feeling very mysterious as to where exactly you're going. I'm seeing Pisces here. We have Venus, Moon, Pluto, and we have Pisces. The theme seems like it's about not giving up, because I'm wondering, for some of you, you were thinking about maybe like abandoning something here. This can even be like, I wasn't making progress in the way that I wanted to, but I see something about like looking at all of this as just a part of the journey. Like all of it can be considered that. The slow parts, the fast parts, the parts where you don't move, the parts where you move a lot, the parts where you get turned around, like all of it is under the umbrella of this journey that you're on. There can also be something about constantly having to unmask as well. Like, you know, when you go through things and we show up in certain ways because we know that it's going to be well received, but it may not feel like 100% honest, but it's also that thing about like, what's the harm in that? But then when you're trying to get a very like authentic product from something that you're doing, you're gonna have to be totally aligned with that. So there can be some like deprogramming that you've been doing, where you can feel something come up, like a mask coming back up, or like a out of flow thing coming back up, where you have to like bring yourself back, and this feels like something repetitively that has to happen. So it can be like you start wandering, you get a little bit lost, you have to find the path again. It happens again, you have to bring yourself back and find the path again. Because I'm seeing this all be connected with something that you're doing here, and something that feels really worthwhile, regardless even of what shows up and may prove as being a difficulty for you. Do you want to come sit? There's something that I feel like I'm not finished with, though. I don't know if this is like something that's going to end up being revealed. There could have been an avoidance of you exploring further. Maybe that was something. What you can also see is where you have been like your own worst enemy, or where you have been getting in your own way, but out of ignorance, because I'm not seeing this be something on purpose. Like you could have been exploring something and been like, I see I was like hiding that one reflection from myself that I wasn't really looking into fully. It can be some direction that you were maybe avoiding going in. Yeah, it feels like some movement that wasn't happening. I need to clarify this again. There's something that is not fully coming through yet. Seeing stuff about having to be patient with your process currently and your place within the process. I see some disconnect, but there being not an awareness of this disconnect, but until you pull something back and you look at it and then you see what it was. But before that happened, it's like I'm seeing something like strong, very, very strong intuition about something, but it could have been, it's this part of you that you have to be really in touch with in order to pick up on the signal of that. This can be something that masks your intuition. It can be something that messes with your intuition. But this can be like some sort of ignorance. It can be born from that, like something, some like misinformation even. Yeah, something that you've been feeling that needed to be looked into, that was messing with your sense of direction. But when you pull back the curtain on that, you can see what has been, it's like something's been messing with the signal. Whatever that Seven of Swords is, it's like you trying to tune into a radio station and you have something jamming the signal. You were like, why can I not pick this up? And I'm seeing you have to go on this whole thing just to be able to pull back the curtain, and you see something has been jamming the signal. It can be somewhere where you were hiding from yourself and hiding from your intuition. I will say this too, some of you, this can be a person that's around you. There can be something going on with that. It may be like something that you can be more subconsciously aware of, but maybe something that you didn't want to admit to consciously. That can be it as well. I guess something about being led astray. If something is coming through, an opportunity is coming through, and you do not feel a green light on it, pay attention. Don't write that off. This can even be something that's resurfacing. Also, too, make sure that whatever you're doing, it's either your idea, or if it has to do with like somebody else's vision, that you feel genuinely connected with what that is. Don't be going along with something that someone else is doing. I'm hearing the word primary. Don't be going along with something that someone else is doing if you do not also resonate with that. And for some of you, I'm seeing specifically it can be like a relationship thing, but there can be work stuff too that's tied into this as well for some of you guys. Yeah, some of you, you may have somebody around you where there's something going on, and you need to listen to your intuition, because it can be somebody that you were trying to manifest with and build with, but what you can find is like what they're trying to do and what you're trying to do is different. But somebody may have been like saying that they're on the same page or something like that, and then there may have been something else that was going on. Like there can potentially be, you end up finding out that someone hasn't been being totally transparent with you. But you also have to remember too that there is nothing that happens that remains unmanifest. So if somebody is doing something, there will always be signals about that. There will always be feelings about that. The only time somebody can lie to you and you can like not know, or somebody can be not being totally transparent or honest with you and you not know, is when your intuition tells you that it's happening and you ignore it. That is the only time. So that it's still, you still are the deciding factor of whether or not like something is acknowledged. It never happens and you have no awareness of it at all. There's always that awareness there. It's just a matter of like essentially whether you gaslight yourself or not. And that can be part of, I don't know what exactly your situation is, but part of thematically what's going on spiritually for you right now can be about understanding the extent of the toolkit that you have that you may not have always acknowledged. And something can be going on right now that is giving you an opportunity to strengthen the signal of your intuition and to come more into your own, into a place of self-trust and union with yourself. But it may be at a point of discovery where something's going on with another person, where you have to trust yourself about whatever that is that's happening. All right, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting and tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.